Mamarazzi. I'm Denise Albert.
I'm Melissa Gerstein, and we're the mom! Woohoo! I've got 3 kids.
And I have 2. She's happily married, and I'm happily divorced.
We've been talking about parenting across the country with a community of moms at our Mamarazzi events, and we are so excited to bring Mamarazzi to a wider audience with this show right here at the People Entertainment Weekly Network.
And joining us today, we have the amazing Halle Berry, who is starring in a new film called Kidnap, out this Friday, August 4th.
And we also have with us here, you can hear them in New York City, a live studio audience. They're waiting to ask questions. They've seen the film. It's so exciting.
And to you at home, we want to hear from you too. Tweet us with the hashtag Mamarazzi. You can send in videos with parenting questions to burst.com/Mamarazzi. You can also comment on People Entertainment Weekly Network's Facebook page and ask anything, well, almost anything you like. And dads, don't be shy. We love to hear from you too.
Oh my goodness, Halle Berry! It's our first time with you. How are you?
I know. How is it? This is my first time.
I don't know. We're going to have to figure
But
that
not
one out.
the last.
We just saw the film. I was like, oh my God. Like, I'm still
I know.
shaking. It is so exciting, Halle. It's so exciting.
Thank you.
And we have already a fan who has a burst video in. So let's take a quick look, and then we'll talk about Kidnap.
I'm wondering if you ever take your job home, being a mom in these different scenarios and all your exciting roles that you have to play. In this instance, in Kidnap, did you actually take that role home with you at all and go home and drill your children on the things that could possibly happen, the fears that, you know, moms have in their lives? But I, on the other hand, I can't find a moment where I don't drill my children if something real is happening. Like, I have to let them know, like, this can happen. Like, does that ever happen to you? I'd love to hear what you have to say about that.
Especially this one.
Yes, especially this one. I mean, I didn't bring it home because I would just be bringing home, you know, a bag of nerves and horror every day. So I didn't bring it home, but it did make me kiss them more, hug them more. It's inspired me to put my kids through a little drill. There was this social experiment where a guy was going up to kids at a park with a puppy, and how easy he was able to. You see that?
I saw that. It freaked me out, but it was a great teachable moment, wasn't it?
Yes. So I'm orchestrating that with my kids. I'm setting up scenarios where they actually, someone comes up to them and they have to react, because you can tell children, don't go away with strangers, but it doesn't really register. You have to give them some sense memory. So put them in a situation. What it made me do is put them in a situation and kind of scare them straight a little bit.
Have you done that?
No, but I'm going to do that.
There you go. Okay.
I'm going
so we
to
should
do
all
that.
do that.
I think people have been asking me what to do, and that's what I've been
It's like
coming
a
up
good
with.
social
Do an
experiment.
experiment with your own kids and see what they'll do. They might surprise you, and then you can talk to your kids about it after they've done the wrong thing. You know.
I was going to say today,
you didn't
because we're
see it.
all-
I texted my husband in the middle because honestly, like it is so jarring and anxiety driven, and it makes you fear. It's like the greatest fear ever, right?
I couldn't think of anything worse.
So on the heels of that, how did you choose this role? I mean, because of that theme?
Yeah, I read it, and right away, being a mom of 2, it hit me. And I thought, God, this would be my worst nightmare. And I knew that I had the emotional capacity to bring that to life. But it also was a movie that spoke to sort of the strength and the power of the mother-female spirit. Because this mother, single-handedly, an ordinary woman, finds the hero within herself and just will not stop. And that's every mom I know. That's every dad I know, really. Nobody's going to take your kid right in front of you, and you're not going to do exactly what this character does. And I love when the underdog triumphs like that in a very real, not superhero way, but in a real human way. She becomes a superhero.
Right.
And
And
I
aren't
love
we
the
all
premise.
superheroes every day anyway?
Moms are.
There you go.
Look how many things we do in a day. How many multitasking jobs we have to do, and then keep it all together and not have our brains crack
Right,
off.
but we
I mean,
also, as parents, I think, always have fears every day.
Yeah.
What are your fears besides Kidnap?
Well, you know, I in this day and age of social media, I fear how this will affect my children. You know, they're growing much differently than I grew up. So I'm just trying to keep up the pace with them. I want to stay a part of the dialogue, stay a part of the conversation. But I also want to keep them grounded with my lifestyle and the way we live. It's really important that I find a way to keep them normal and down to earth and not have them be spoiled, and more importantly, not allow other people to spoil them, because a lot of people always want to, you know, do a little too much. And so it's a constant battle to keep their feet on the ground and, you know, keep them, you know, connected to who they really are and not the fishbowl that we live in sometimes for me.
So like your character, I mean, she's a mama bear, big time, right? I mean, that scene where she goes into the police station and she looks at the wall and she's like, oh, those people waited.
they did.
And she was like, boom, I'm out of here,
Yeah.
right? Like, do you have some of that? Are you a mama bear?
You are. You say don't mess with mama often, right?
I did. I got that. My daughter was being so harassed in LA by the paparazzi that she was afraid to go to school. She wouldn't leave the house. When we go out, she'd cry. She'd put a coat over her head. They'd call me from school. She was having a hard time. So I finally couldn't take it anymore, and I actually went up to Sacramento, lobbied, spent almost a year and a half, and I finally got this 606 anti-paparazzi bill in place.
And what happens with that?
Well, with that bill, it doesn't mean that they can't take photos. That is their constitutional right. But they have to stay a really healthy distance away so children don't see that they're there. They can't stalk. They can't lay in wait. They can't chase us around the city like they used to do. They can't shout things at my kids. They can't, terrorize them, because that's what they were doing. And they're not allowed to do that anymore. And as a result of that, my kids now live normally. We walk peacefully. They go back and forth to school. They play with other kids. And that has been eliminated from their life. And I wasn't going to stop until I changed their reality.
Right.
So
and
what
you're
happens?
I was going to say, you're very careful with your kids also on social media. And
Yeah.
you're a big, also, I think, a fan of social media because it has powerful use this day.
I love it.
So how do you balance that in terms of, I think you hide your kids' faces on social media, but do you talk to them about social media and why you're using it?
All I talk, especially my daughter, my son's 3, but my daughter and I, we talk about it every day. And I'm always checking what she's doing. I'm explaining to her why she can't go in this chat room. And she now wants to post her videos that she's making and her whatever. And I just have a daily conversation with, no, honey,
Right.
no, this is
But
not
how do you explain that to
okay."
her? Because my son who's here wants to be on YouTube posting videos all day long.
I don't explain anything. I just say no. I say, no, you're not going to do it. It's dangerous, and I don't want your faces out there. And then I show her my Instagram, where I never show her face. I'm like, I don't even show your face. But I have to have her on there because my kids are the biggest part of me. So I wouldn't be having an authentic exchange with the audience if I didn't show them, because they're such a big part of me. But I don't have to exploit them. I don't have to put them in harm's way and plaster their faces all over it either. So I try to strike the balance of having them be there, but not exploitive.
So you'd go on to set, and you're like this badass woman, and it's dark, and it's an intense subject matter, and you would go home, like, did you decompress? Was it hard not to bring the subject matter home, or you just can can
Yeah.
sort of like separate the two?
I can separate, and it was so good to take off those clothes and get out of that car and just leave it there.
Yeah, totally.
That was the easy part. At the end of the day, it was like, thank you, God. Let's leave this nightmare here till tomorrow. Yeah, that's not the hard part.
Yeah. Okay, so talk to us a little bit. Your kids are how old again?
My son is 3, my daughter's 9.
And will you take them when you're filming, or do they stay? Like, how does it work? I always am curious, because how long did it take to make this movie?
This movie was shot in 21 days.
No
Wow.
21
Fast.
days.
And all those crazy scenes?
Yep.
Right, because there was probably some stunt Halle going on, right?
Yeah, there was a little bit of
We would
second
hope,
unit
right?
going. Yeah, there's some second unit, but really, it was a big undertaking for 21 days.
And how do you do that as a mom and as I don't like to call myself a single mom because my kids have a dad who they spend time with, but
Yeah.
how do you do that because you are whatever you call yourself, I say independent, divorced, whatever it is. How do you do that with your kids while you're working?
Well, my kids have their dads in their life too, and their dads are, logged on dads, and so we share custody equally, and we work together. I need to see my kids, and they get to come with me some of the time. Then they go back with their dads, and then we share. Even when I'm working, we still share the custody of the.
And what about on a day off for you? Like, what's an awesome because you talk a lot about living a very normal life with
Yeah.
your children.
She's not
like,
going
are
to the
you
playground.
Walking? Right.
No playground anymore.
Or she won't go on her phone while she's with the kids then. But what do you do?
ever again.
Like, what's a normal family?
I won't be looking off.
What's a normal
taking
family
any phone
day?
calls.
Oh, I'm telling you, there's
It
that
happens
pause.
like that.
I know, and I can.
I want to hear what she's doing with her kids.
Sorry.
Well,
Sorry.
No, we're just bonding.
But we're not following you. Don't tell us
No,
where.
regular stuff, like we camp. Even if we have a weekend, we'll take a little trip, pitch our tent, and go camping. That's a
You
fun
go
thing to do.
camping?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't care what you look like?
No.
No, I'm kidding.
It's glamping. She goes glamping.
My kids do. I'll tell you a funny story. So I woke up one day and I went into my daughter's room and I just had a shower and I wasn't looking my best. But I go in there and she's like, Mom, what happened? I said, what do you mean what happened? She said, you look like you just lost a beauty pageant.
Oh my gosh! Where'd she get that from? I don't know. That's crazy.
The internet, I'm sure. I was like, oh my God.
Well, but it's good for her to see you looking like.
Hey, she wakes up with
She
a
always
minute.
sees me that way. That's why I was like,
Okay, we have another parenting question for you from a fan. So let's take a look at another video.
Hi everyone, Halle Berry. I'm so excited you're on Mamarazzi this week. Huge fan for a really long time. Great to see you there. I'm a parent, 3 kids. My wife and I struggle with one thing I'd love your opinion on. We try not to say, because we said so, right? That's the reason you have to do it. That's kind of a cop-out. What do you say instead of that, or have you thought about that?
You just say no.
I'm sorry. I always say because I said so. But I qualify my I said so's with reasons all the time. Because I do think you have to, my mother used to just tell me because I said so now, that's it. And I remember how frustrated I was. So I sometimes say because mommy says so, but I'm going to tell you why mommy said so. And usually it starts with because I love you so much that I wouldn't want this to happen, or I love you so much that I wouldn't want you to do that and hurt yourself, or I love you so much. That's kind of how I couch it. But I don't have a problem saying because I'm the boss and I say so.
That's
Me too. I always say.
But here's why.
Right. Different house, different rules.
Is there anything?
When they say
Especially
my
when
friends or
Yeah.
right?
Or at my dad's house, well, this ain't your dad's house.
Right. Oh, I have that too.
This is mommy's house, and it goes like this.
Different house, different rules.
House, different rules.
Is there anything that you like? I don't want to say is no 100%, but is there anything that you just won't say or won't let them do 100%?
100%, and I very rarely break this rule, is no iPad or electronics on school days.
Oh, can you come to my house and do that, please?
Yeah,
Really?
I lock it
I
up in a
threaten that.
safe.
In a safe?
Yeah, because she's cheeky. She will find that thing, and then I forget where I
Me
hide
too.
it.
I hide all the time. I put it in my top dresser drawer, and then I can't find it for
can't
2
find it.
weeks, but which is kind of a blessing.
It
I'm gonna get a
is.
safe.
See,
I
mine
like
just
that.
changed
I
their
put it in a
codes.
safe, and I always know where it is, and only I know the code, and I take it out when it's time, and then I put it back in when
Wow.
when
And what
time's
about
up.
during the week? I mean, I actually started, there's no technology before homework, so maybe I'll go to that if that doesn't work. But
I'm
what
buying you a
about,
safe.
no, seriously,
Yeah.
that's what I need.
And sometimes though they have like this math program that they need the iPad for.
Yes.
So I'll let it come out until she gets to the green light on this math program. And then I put it back in the safe. It goes back.
Right, I love that. And as a parent, we all need an outlet and
Yes.
hobbies.
Yes.
So as a mom, the kids we know like technology. What about you?
What do I like as a
Yeah,
hobby?
what's a hobby? What's downtime for you?
Well, I'm taking piano lessons now with my daughter. We kind of something that we do together. She wanted to quit, and I thought, no, there's no quitting. So I thought, what can I do to inspire her to keep going? Because I really want her to. She's very musical, and I want to nudge her, but not force her.
Right.
So I decided to take piano with her, and then she got re-inspired.
That's
and so that's something we
amazing.
do together.
Are you musical? Were you musical?
Yeah, I played the flute in high school in the marching band, so it's not a real big stretch for me, but it's a little bit, different, and I'm
So one day maybe we'll see a post on
Maybe.
your social media of
We're playing
some
a song. That's right. Now, do you take time with your girlfriends and do some mom night outs, and does it get crazy town?
Definitely. Oh, yeah. I mean, every mom needs that. That's my one indulgence. You have to have time with, even if they're not mommy friends, just your girlfriends.
Right,
You really
girlfriends.
do. You do, and you have to have real talk. Everything can't be about Peppa Pig and, about kid movies and, Zootopia. As much as I love it, like, we have to have real talk with our ladies.
Yes, I'm a pro at that.
So,
She is.
What
really
about
good.
Playdates for the kids? How do you manage that? Are you a part of it? Do they have them? How do you manage that?
This is my pet peeve about Playdates. Like, I feel like the parents should drop the kids off for the play date, but then the parents, they come, and then you have to entertain the parents and the kids, and it's like, wait a minute. This was supposed to be like something for the kids to do and for mommy to get a little bit of a break, but then when the parents show up, then, now I'm like,
Trying
having a
to
play date with the
entertain.
parents,
Right,
too.
right.
It's
So
not
drop
what I
the
really
kid
wanna
off
do.
and
I
leave.
think you should. You should drop your kids off. And if you don't trust the household, then don't have a play date there.
Oh, that's a good question, by the way. Do
Yeah.
you call, if you're going to drop your kids off somewhere, because I have this conversation a lot with some of my friends, do you talk to the parents to say, hey, do you have guns in your house?
Yes.
You'll ask that.
Yes.
Like,
Do that?
you have a gun.
Yes, and that's and they could not be telling you the truth, but at least I want it out there that's an issue for me. And if you do, that lets them know you need to make sure it's like a little flag in their head. Oh, yeah, we do, and maybe we should make sure that's.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
I think you should ask all those kinds of questions.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not someone you know really well. If it's a school friend and you're just meeting someone, I think it's totally okay to ask these questions and who's around in your house and who lives in your house.
You have to.
That's normal stuff, I think.
100%.
Task.
Now, you have a birthday coming up, which is exciting, isn't it?
I do.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Come on, can we just
Sorry,
talk
I'm
about
trying
this?
to be cool about
She's telling us to put our legs out, right? But I don't know that they look like this. And
I mean,
this
you're
is
doing
50.
like that.
This is 50. 51?
I mean, look at
Sorry.
this. You got to talk to us about this. So
What do you
what's-
do?
Yeah, what's the workout regime? What do you eat? Come on. I gotta.
Okay, you want me to tell you?
Yes.
What secrets?
I swear by the Ketogenic Diet.
What is that?
It's a diet, it's simple. It's just no sugar and no carbs. And what you force your body to do is instead of burning sugar for fuel, you start burning healthy fats like avocado, coconut oil, eggs. You start eating healthy fats. Butter can be a part of your diet. You just eat protein, you eat nuts, legumes, and then you start teaching your body begins to burn fat instead of sugar. And when you start burning fat, all the fat starts to melt away because your
aren't you
body actually
hungry?
needs that for fuel.
No.
You can eat all the food you want.
Okay.
You don't have, it's not
just
a
she
diet
doesn't
in
eat carbs or
proportions.
sugar. I basically don't do
So
that either.
many vegetables.
You can
What
eat
about
a big ass
fish and
What about working
porterhouse
out?
steak if you want.
Right.
You just can't have the baked potato.
Right. Right. But she's a
Ever.
meat and potatoes girl.
No, I gotta
Right.
figure it
You
out.
got
What
the
about-
carbs are bad.
What
Right.
is your
What-
favorite workout? What are you doing?
I do a workout that's just sort of revolves around my body weight most of the time. I don't do a lot of muscles. I don't want to look like, I just do body weight stuff. I do yoga sometimes, Pilates. I kind of switch it up because your body gets used to the same exercises, so you have to kind of, trick it every 6 or 3 months or
Is
so.
this every day?
No, 4 to 5 days a week.
Do your kids or your daughter work out with you?
No, they watch me and cheer me on. Good, Mommy, good, keep going, keep going.
Right, right. What about, do you have one tip for somebody who might not have a lot of time to work out if they're busy, a working parent? What is the one thing that you think is the most important?
Cardio. I would say do some kind of cardiovascular exercise. That's good for your heart, that's good for your blood, that's good for burning calories.
for
That's
the
all
heart.
you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. do
And
that.
we get to look like this
Exactly.
with a little
like
more
that?
work.
So we have another burst video in, and we're going to talk to you about your favorite genre of movie making. I mean, you make so many different movies, from Monsters Ball to Catwoman to Kidnap. What is your favorite genre, to the sweet spot for you?
I don't really have a favorite genre. I just really love playing characters that are complicated and screwed up in some way fighting to win. I love the underdog. I love strong characters that are in peril but refuse to be victims and rise above and end up winning. Those are characters that I really connect to.
And you can feel it right away in the script, or it takes meetings. I mean, does it grab you right away?
Usually for me, if it's really something that's really right for me, it grabs me. It grabs me right away. If I read a script and I'm like, I like this movie, but I don't know if this character lives in me. If I can't connect to it pretty quickly, I usually pass. Even sometimes I regret it, but I'm like, or someone else will go have a great success with something that I passed on. I always go back to, but that wasn't for me. I read it, didn't connect to it. That's that person's blessing or story to tell. That wasn't mine.
Now, people loved you as Storm in X-Men. Is that something that you would want to do again?
Oh, for sure. I love that character. I think they didn't nearly explore her as much as they could have. She's such a beloved comic book character, and all the X-Men, aficionados love her, and I think they underexplored Storm.
Do your kids know that you're Catwoman?
No, my daughter's never seen the movie. I tried to make her watch it, but in the beginning she got scared and she said, "I don't want to see you like that, Mommy." And she doesn't want to watch it.
And what do you think she will one day?
One day.
Have they seen any of your movies?
My daughter went to see Kidnap at the screen premiere, and for this very reason, I thought she needed to see. She's 9 years old. She was there on the set. She became friends with the little boy that played my son.
He was so cute, by the way.
He was so
Like,
cute.
come on, just
Wasn't
for a
he
minute.
cute?
Yeah, right? He's super cute.
Such a good, smart little boy.
Yeah.
But I thought she needed to see this.
Wait, I got to hear more about that, because
Yeah.
were
and
you nervous taking her to this film?
No, because she was on the set.
Right.
She saw, and as I was a producer on the movie, so as we were editing it and I was watching parts of it on my computer, she would look over my shoulder and see it. And I felt like it's time for us to have this conversation, It's really time for her to understand, the ramifications of what this could mean for her and to protect herself and put a healthy fear in her, I think was really good.
That's good.
I think it was a good thing.
I'll take my kids now, I think.
Yeah, it was a good thing.
Okay, so
Because, it's only R-rated because of the concept of kidnapping. There's no blood, there's no curse words, there's some fighting, and yeah, there's some deaths that happen, but they're not bloody and gory. It's only R because the concept of kidnap is kind of harsh. That's a harsh thought. That's why we got a R.
Right. Now, there were many intense stunts in this film. Is there anything in a movie you won't do, and did that change when you became a mother? Like, will you not do certain kinds of movie scenes because being a mom now?
Yeah, there's certain risks that I wouldn't take today, and I can't tell you, I haven't faced one lately, but if someone asked me to do something, like in my younger years, I was a daredevil, I would do it. But today I'm more sensible, and I think about if I could get hurt or, you know, not like really maim myself in some way and not be able to earn a living for my kids, like, you know, these things, I need all my parts to do what I do. That would really, I would say, no, let the professional come in.
Right.
I'd pass. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite role that you've played?
All time.
No, because you know what? And you'll know this. They're like all my kids.
Right.
Every movie, every character, I've learned something. I've grown. Even the ones that haven't done well and people, you know, seem to talk stuff about Catwoman. I still learn. I learned so much from those experiences, and I met amazing people and made friendships. So they were all part of the journey and all part of making me me. So I can't pick one.
Do you have on the horizon a dream role or something that you've got to do? I mean, I feel like the piano's in the works for
Right,
something.
there you go.
I don't
Musical
know.
with
Or-
Halle
I mean,
Berry.
I don't know. The flute's gonna bust out in some like
Something.
band mom movie. I don't know. Like, is there a role that you're kind of like itching for, and like the agent, you're like, where is it? I don't know. Is there?
I want more roles like this. Not maybe this role. I want more roles where women are empowered. I mean, you know, we have to get back to seeing ourselves on screen as we really are. And I think as women, not only do we need to start writing it, producing and directing it, but as audiences and moviegoers, women, we have to go out and support when they make movies for us. We have to do what men do, and we have to get off our butts, get ourselves a sitter, treat us to some little luxury, go out with our girlfriends, and see a movie. Because that's the only way we will be allowed to keep making movies so that we can see ourselves reflected. Only way.
And do you have plans to do any writing or anything expanding your working sense?
Directing for sure. This movie is the first movie I produced under my 606 banner. That's the Paparazzi Bill 606. So we named the company after 606 films. And I want to do movies that empower women, not just for me to act in, but I want to create opportunities for other women of color, and not just, you know, African American and Hispanics, but Asian women, I think, really need to be, you know, represented. Indian population. There's so many facets to who we are as women, and I think we need to start exploring that across the board.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we have a burst question in one of your most memorable roles. It's about one of your most memorable roles. Please take a look.
Hey Halle, I'm a big fan of everything you do, but my favorite movie that you were in was Monsters Ball, where you obviously won the Academy Award for that role. Can you tell me how the perception you changed once you became an Academy Award winner? How did you feel about yourself differently, and how do you think people saw you differently in the industry? Thanks.
And did they?
Yeah.
Well, everybody saw practically every inch of my body.
Wait, that's how
they
I
saw me
remember that
differently.
dress, Ellie, but also the dress you wore, Ellie Saab, right? The night
Ellie
you
Saab,
won.
yes.
Can you believe I remembered that?
Ellie Saab, no.
Because it was just gorgeous. It was amazing. It was an amazing night,
Thank
wasn't
you.
it?
It was.
I mean,
it's
it was
still
like,
a blur, but yeah.
yeah.
It was. It was an amazing.
So how did it change?
How did it change?
Anything?
Well, it changed my career, that's for sure. You know, it put me in a different club, which nobody ever takes that guy away, no matter what. That stays with me.
Where is it in your house?
It's in my bedroom. Nobody ever sees it. It's in my bedroom.
Do your kids understand the importance and how incredible and the hard work? No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
They don't really know much about what I do. I'm just mom to them. Like, you know, even I'll be out with my daughter and sometimes we'll be somewhere and somebody will say, oh, can I have your picture? And she's like, why? Why do they want your picture?
Oh my God.
Like she gets it,
And what
but
do you say?
I just said, I don't know why they want it. They
Yeah.
just, you know, people, I don't know.
They
Like,
saw a movie with me.
I was
Yeah.
Catwoman. I don't know.
I don't
right?
even, yeah. But she knows I do movies, but she can't understand why people covet a picture of someone that's in a movie. Like she couldn't imagine, you know, going up to, you know, one of her favorites in a movie and wanting, like she likes to watch Home Alone. If she ran into Macaulay Culkin, if he were still little, she wouldn't go ask him for an autograph. Like she thinks that's just lame. Like, why would I want him to sign a paper? You know what I mean? Like in her mind.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
She doesn't
she
want a
can't.
picture with like Justin Bieber or.
She doesn't know why anybody would want that. She's
Right.
like, what do you do with that? Like, why do they want that?
Yeah.
And I say, well, I don't know. Why do they want that? This starts this whole conversation. But she's, this is the new generation. They're thinking a little bit differently.
Back to the Oscar, sorry, because I just think it's unbelievable. I don't know, Oscar winner, right? Okay, so do you feel pressure or any pressure being that you were the first African-American woman to win Best Actress? Is there any pressure with that, or it was just all celebratory and I hear what you're saying about creating more roles for diversity. So do you feel like that is something you must put forward?
I don't want that pressure to sit down all on me. That, for one, that would be suicide. There's no way I can handle all that. That wouldn't be fair. Yeah. But I did feel like that night inspired some people, and many great things have changed in the industry. More women writers, directors, Shonda Rhimes, other actresses have won in other categories. But I still am heartbroken that 15 years later, I'm the only one in my category. I really thought for sure.
It's 15 years?
It's been 15 years.
Feels like yesterday.
Right?
There hasn't been another one, and that's slightly heartbreaking. Yeah. But I also know that moment inspired people, and we're getting better. There's more people of color on television now than ever before. We are making films. Look at Girls Trip that just came. There are films that are being made. Loved it,
It was
right?
so great. I saw it twice already.
We
had JD here a couple weeks ago. We were
Yes.
dying. Yeah.
So, good things are happening, but real evolution is slow. That's just the truth of it. And, we need more people of color behind the scenes, more women of color behind the scenes, too. That's how real change is
going to happen.
So people should send their projects to
606,
There you go.
606. 606.
We have a question from Lauren from Essence in the audience. So Lauren, what is your question?
Hi, I'm Lauren Porter from Essence.com. My question is, when you learn lessons all the time, especially when you identify with the hero in yourself. So what's a lesson that you've learned about something that you may have gotten wrong professionally, and then how you've learned to make it right and make peace with that? Because it's not always easy.
Professionally, probably when I pass on things that later turn out to be huge successes for somebody else.
Like what? Sorry, I gotta know.
Earlier.
What'd you pass on?
Well, I passed on speed a long time ago. That was dumb, right? That was dumb. That was
Keanu
dumb.
Reeves in Speed. Wow.
That was dumb.
Yeah,
I could have been on that bus.
Yeah.
Well, now you got in a car, right?
Right, now you're right.
I got in a car.
Yeah, you get.
Yeah, 20 years later, I got in a car.
Kidnapped your role.
When things like that happen, I have learned to, like what I said, those weren't my blessings. That was not for me to do. So I try not to beat myself up about that, and I make choices in the moment based on all the information I have in my gut and what feels right for me. And so therefore, I think that's what it's really meant to be. There are no mistakes, so no regrets.
All right. So Halle, we're going to do something now. It's called A Minute with the Moms. It's super fun. We're just
It's
going to
just one word answer kind of thing.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, do you have...
Wait, we got to get the clock up.
sorry.
Where's our clock?
Do you have a minute?
There it is. Here we go.
Do you have a bad habit? And what is it?
Yes.
Wine, food, eating at night, picking out.
Wine.
Okay.
I do wine every day.
All right, dream acting collaboration. Dream acting collaboration.
David O. Russell as the director, and Ryan Gosling.
Drama or comedy to act in?
Comedy. I want to do comedy.
Or to watch?
And I want to watch comedy too right now in life.
Okay, what's your one vice?
Wine.
Wine.
That's it?
Drunk?
I'm drunk.
You like to dine in, or do you cook at home, or you like to go out?
I cook for my kids, but I go out for me.
Okay, how would your kids describe you?
Hopefully they would say patient, but crazy at the same time.
Ooh, now I need to
And
know
what's
how
your
crazy.
favorite thing to do with your kids?
Snuggle.
Oh,
Me too.
Me too.
Kisses.
Snuggle.
Love it. That was a minute with the mom.
That was a minute with the moms.
I know.
Yes.
That was like a very relaxing minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Halle, thank you so much for talking with us about your kids and your career and yourself and your roles in Kidnap. It is a great movie that everyone should go see this Friday, August 4th.
Tomorrow. Woohoo! And a huge thank you to our live audience. And thank you to everyone who sent in verse videos, tweeted at us, and commented on Facebook.
We will see you all soon. Everybody have a great day and go see